Yo, what is up, YouTube? So, currently my account is in the hacker pool. I'm trying to get that sorted out with NK. I haven't really been playing arena games because of that, but I did have some games a couple days ago against Lokesh before my account was hacker pooled, so I'll just upload these games and show you guys what happened. And these games aren't really too serious because, first of all, I changed my name, so Lokesh probably doesn't even think this is me. He does have me followed, so maybe he was thinking that this could be me. But yeah, I don't even know if Lokesh knows it's me. And another thing is that this is just arena game, so it isn't really too serious. Like, we aren't really like playing super tryhard games, so these games shouldn't really been taken too seriously. But I just wanted to upload these because I thought he was interesting games. I think Lokesh. Okay, I'll just talk about the strategies, like why we're going these strategies. But Lokesh, he's going boat, and I thought he's definitely going boat mortar. But I was thinking, like, before the match even started, like, I know Lokesh plays this map a lot. Like, I've seen his videos where he just plays this map. He goes, like, chipper strats, mostly, like, chipper farm, or chipper farm sub, or sub strats, like, chipper farm sub farm glue, that kind of stuff. So, both kind of, like, surprised me. I was thinking he's probably going boat mortar, but he's going boat sub, so he's trying out a new strategy, I think. Not really too sure. But yeah, he starts off with a boat, so I was thinking he was gonna go boat mortar. But I'm actually going engineer, which is really interesting. Like, I think engineer is not a common strategy on this map, or just a tower on this map. Like, no one really uses engineer because it's mainly just like a boat map or just like a water map. If you think about it, like most people go water strats on this map. So engineer is not really that common, but I've seen a couple pro players use it, so I wanted to just try it out. But yeah, I think like my game plan here was just like, I was thinking I'll just go late game. I can't really beat him late. I was thinking I'm probably not gonna win late game, so I was thinking I'm just gonna force a low money game. Just try to have, I can't really force like a bank sell or just like not a bank game. Like, the thing is, he's gonna get his bank up. Like, he's gonna have his BI. I can't really prevent that. But what I could do is just to try to like limit it as much as I can. And then what I was thinking was just like, I'm just gonna try to send some ZMGs late game and just try to stall and counter. Because my strategy, he just gets outlasted. Like, or not, yeah, he just loses late game. It's not gonna win late. Like, it doesn't have enough, like, it's not really the best late game. Like, it's not gonna defend ZMGs. So I was thinking I'm just gonna counter late game. And just force a low money game, because in a low money game, if you have a stall, you're usually gonna win. But what I'm doing here is that I'm just being aggressive here, just try to force defense, because I don't want him to just like keep farming. Like, if he gets really good farms, I was thinking, like, I wasn't really too sure, but I was thinking I'm probably gonna lose if he has like insane farms. So I'm just trying to prevent his farms as much as I can, and just try to farm on as well. But yeah, we both send leads here because we're just trying to force defense. But yeah, he sells his boat, and yeah, I go for my cleansing form, and then he just goes for his reactor, which really surprised me. I wasn't thinking that he was gonna go sub, but he actually went sub, which is really interesting. And I don't go for my trap yet. I'm still waiting because I can wait here, but I eventually get it up. The thing that kind of sucks about my trap spot is that it hits the top of the map, and it also hits the bottom, like where you see my cleansing foam. That's the trap can spawn there, but it can actually spawn like where my current location is. Like, it can spawn there, but it can also spawn where the cleansing foam is, and it's not really that good because if he ends up rushing here, my trap spot could get consistent. It can throw off like the balloon sense, and I can just probably like die to it if it's like really bad. Like, so that's not really something that's good about my trap spot. I kind of misplaced it, but it's whatever. And Lokesh ends up banking here, and I end up banking as well, but I got my bank a bit late. I got it after the round ended, so I didn't get the extra 30 eco, which is unfortunate. So Lokesh, he's up like 30 eco because of that. And I can't really rush much against sub. Like, I can't send any rainbows. I can send ceramics. That's like the main rush I can send against him. So I was thinking, like, I'm gonna send him a couple ceramics next round, try to force the airburst perhaps, and that was the plan. I was just trying to force defense. I wanted to delay his BI as much as I can. I sent a set of rainbows, which is by accident. It's unfortunate. I kind of lost money from that because it doesn't really do anything. But I send ceramics here, and I was trying to just make him panic, but he actually defends really nicely, and he goes for his BIA as well. So I was thinking like, I thought that was a bit greedy. I was thinking like, there's no way he defends a Moab. So I was thinking maybe he can defend a Moab, but what I was thinking was I'm gonna send ceramics behind it, and then maybe he would choke to it. So I send a Moab here, and I do an interesting play here. I actually send leads behind this. The leads actually don't do anything unless he has a sub on the top of the map where the balloons are. If he has a sub there, the leads could actually block his sub, but that wasn't really the idea here. What I was thinking was that I was gonna send Moabs and then ceramics, but if I sent a Moab and then ceramics like immediately, Lokesh would just like see, oh, this is a crazy rush. I'm gonna sell my BIA and then go for defense. But what I did here was that I sent leads immediately, and then Lokesh was like, this is not going to be a crazy rush. I'm just going to defend this. Like, I don't have to sell my BA or anything. But then what I do here is that eventually he starts chasing to the Moab. He gets up his rocket thing. Forgot what it's called, but he gets that up. And he has a second air burst. So now when he's about to chase, I send a couple ceramics. And what happens is that he pops the Moab's ceramics, and then I'm sending ceramics myself. So it kind of looks like I'm not sending ceramics. Like looks like it's kind of like camouflage, if that makes sense, because the Moab pops into ceramics, and then I'm sending ceramics myself. So it looks like they're kind of camouflage, if that makes sense. So Lokesh thinks that this isn't a super hard defend. It's just a Moab. But what happens is that he actually leaks here, and then he just dies here because there's too many ceramics, and it was kind of intentional. I didn't think that the Moab was gonna camouflage and just like that wasn't the plan. But what I was thinking was that I wanted to send ceramics when he was about to chase, and that way I was thinking like he was not gonna have enough time to defend. If I sent ceramics off the bat, he was thinking like, this is gonna be a crazy rush, I'm gonna sell my BIA. But instead I waited, and that way he underestimated the rush, and he ended up just choking to it. And I think like I don't know what happened if you went leaking. Like, it would be interesting, I'd say. I think, I don't know, man. It's a weird matchup for sure. Maybe I lose late game, but I wanted to see what would happen. And I didn't want to, yeah. I wanted to see what would happen, but that's going to be for another day. But yeah, I think he just greeted too hard, honestly. Like, I felt like if he didn't go for that BIA, I probably would have matched it. Like, if he went for his BIA, like, round 18, for example, I would have just matched it and then tried to go late game. But I felt like he just went for his BIA way too early, and like I felt like he didn't have enough money to defend, so that's why I sent a crazy rush like that. I think the way Lokesh actually plays is that he tries to play as perfect as possible. Like, he tries to play his best and just try to outplay your opponent. And I think like I play like that as well. I think Asian Sensation plays like that also. But I think like every now and then you can play like a choke rushy play style where like you can try to be really aggressive and just try to get a choke out of your opponent. It definitely depends on what strategy you're going for sure. But my strategy, I could probably like use that play style. I've seen Brian Chess use this play style against Lokesh, and he actually beat Lokesh before using it. But yeah, he actually ended up choking. It isn't like crazy game. It's not like a try hard game, so I wouldn't really take this too seriously. Lokesh is just trying out like a new strategy, so it isn't really too serious of a game. But I felt like that rush was really nice. Like, I think that was a really good rush. But also another game I had with Lokesh, second game I had with him. I played this game before I played the game I just showed. This is like the first game I had with Lokesh. Like in this session actually, in Arena. But yeah, I don't even know if Lokesh knows this was me. But my thought process going into this map was that this map specifically is really long, so you can go a lot of eco strats. And I was anticipating that Lokesh was going to go an eco strat, so I tried to go engineer to try to counter that. Because engineer is somewhat decent against eco. So either I can go eco versus eco, or I could try to go engineer and try to counter. And I felt like engineer would be more fun, so that's why I went engineer. But actually he went Cobra here. So what happens is that in an usual eco versus engineer game, you want to anti-stall the rounds and just try to force a low money game. But because he had Cobra, I wanted to stall out the rounds, because in a Cobra versus engineer game, you're going to win late game. So I wanted to just stall the rounds out and just try to go late game and just try to have enough money. Like I don't want to anti-stall, if that makes sense, because if I anti-stall, it's gonna force a low money game, and I don't want that to happen because the more money I have, the better chance I have in this game for sure. But yeah, at this point, I sell my engineer. I think it was the correct play for sure, 100%, because otherwise I would be anti-stalling the whole game, which is not ideal. But yeah, he's going Cobra. I think Lokesh's thought process was that he probably thought that I was gonna go engineer glue super, and Cobra actually hard counters that strategy. Like, you're not gonna win against Cobra because if you think about it, like super has no camo detection, so it's gonna lose to adjustment. Glue glue kind of doesn't have camo detection, but you can use the glue storm, but it's not gonna be enough. And then you also have the ninja, which does have camo detection, but ninja isn't that good against like group balloons. It's not that good. Like it doesn't have good group popping power, if that makes sense. Like it's not that good against group balloons. So ninja just gets overwhelmed by adjustment, and that's why you can't really go that strategy unless you can afford a temple. Like if you afford a temple, you're just gonna win, but you're just not gonna be able to afford that. This is way too expensive. That early game, like nobody's getting a temple round 25. Like that's literally impossible. So if I go that strategy, Ninja Glue Super, which is the best late game strategy, it just gets hard countered by Cobra, which is kind of the reason why I don't really like Cobra, because it kind of forces like rock paper scissor like games where it's just like whoever has the better strategy. But it is what it is. Like I think it's like this is something about Cobra. Like you can't really change that up against Cobra unless like they nerf Cobra like crazy, and that way it doesn't force games like that. But it's kind of just like RNG games where if you have Cobra. But yeah, I think this matchup, I'll talk about this matchup, that like Engineer versus Cobra is really bad for a Cobra player. It's not a fun matchup. It's really unlucky actually. There isn't really so much you can do here. But but Lokesh is a really good player, so he actually makes this interesting. But the reason why Cobra is so bad against Engineer is that, think about it, like what is his options? He could try to adjust, but adjusting is probably the worst thing you can do against Engineer, because Engineer, first of all, is like the best counter against Cobra, because if someone tries to adjust you, you can just go for traps. Like you can go for balloon traps, just spam balloon traps like crazy, and at this defense adjustment, and then you just get infinite money. So if he tries to adjust, it's not gonna work, and he could try to his other only option is to just offensive push, which is his best option, I'd say, in my opinion. I think it's the best option. Or you could try to beat me late game, which is not happening because Cobra is not gonna win late game against my strategy. So his only option mainly is to just try to offensive push, send a BFB early game, and just try to hope I choke. And I was thinking like that's what he's gonna do here. I played Lokesh before against, in this specific matchup, I played him before on offside, so I know how Lokesh likes to play this. He's gonna play it like the traditional way, just offensive push. It's the best play, I'd say. So I was thinking like I'm just gonna get up good farms and just save up a ton of money for his rushes. If I don't have enough money saved up, like if I don't have enough farms, I'm just gonna die to his offensive push. So I have to save up money. And now he sends his rush here, and this trap spot isn't that good. So I actually end up boosting. I kind of panicked here because he sent regions, and I actually end up going for a downdraft and boosting, which is not that good because it was kind of like overkill, if that makes sense. I think I just needed to boost that without going for a downdraft. But I keep it up because I felt like he was gonna rush again, and it would probably help a bit against his rushes. So that's why I got it up. That's why I didn't sell it. And I can actually go for a bank here. It could be an interesting play, but I don't know. The thing is, I don't go for a bank because I feel like it's better to just go for more farms because you're gonna have more money saved up. The bank helps you get a bit of eco, so it could be the play actually. Haven't really tried it out, but I think I just go for the safer play. I just keep farming on because, yeah, I feel like bank is a bit slower compared to farms, but overall, like on the later part of the game, it's way better to have a bank than to go for farms because you're gonna get a lot more value from the eco. You're gonna get a lot more money from the eco. Getting the extra 30 eco every round, and then eventually you're gonna get a BIA, you're gonna have extra like 80 eco effort every round, which is really nice. So, but I think the reason why I don't do this is because I know he's gonna send early, and then I'm gonna have to sell my bank, and I don't really want to do that. So that's why I just go for a couple of like plantations. And he actually offensive pushes round 13. He goes for three, I think. Yeah, he goes for three offensive pushes, and then he sends his BFB. So what I do here is that I go for a second trap because Lokesh had an interesting play. He started adjusting. I think the reason why he did that is because he thought that it would be too much for me because I had to defend a BFB and then I would have to worry about adjustments. So I go for a second trap, I sell it, and then Lokesh is like, I'm not gonna adjust anymore because he has a second trap. There's no point. He doesn't want to give me free money, so he sells his adjustment. I think that's what he did. But yeah, not at this point. I just go for a couple down drops. I just boost this because it's kind of sus, and I just boost it because I'm trying to play it safe. I don't know if I needed a boost. Probably did. But yeah, I just boosted. And now he sends this. I'm playing it really safe. I didn't want to choke here. It wasn't really that optimal, but I was really scared of choking because this is a two-way map as well, so it isn't like super good map for NG. Engineer isn't really that good on two-way maps, so you can actually like choke here. But yeah, I was worried about the AI from the... I was worried about the LED's AI, and then I was worried about the LEDs he was sending himself. So I was scared, but I have two traps, so I just defend like pretty easily. And I go for my bank because I wanted to get the extra eco. But yeah, he sends his BFB again. And I was getting scared of getting drained. I was kind of scared that I was going to get drained from this, but eventually I just go for a couple down drafts. He sends camo LEDs, which kind of got me scared, so I go for a second rotors. And I'm not really too sure if I boost this. I actually offended without boosting. That's really nice. Like, I saved the boost, which is really good for sure. But yeah, my eco is kind of low. Like, this is not like super good, but he's doing really well in draining me. So yeah, I almost die here, bro. That was really scary. I think what happened was that, I don't know. I think like he sent a couple balloons, so I feel like it got past my trap, and I almost just died there. I think I just leaked to 7, which is really lucky, but it's whatever, to be honest. And now he sends another BFP because I just went for my BIA. And yeah, I'm just trying to like prepare for a late game. I know I'm gonna beat him late, so I'm not gonna send him choke rushes. I'm never gonna send him a BFB because he can just go for a misdirection and I'm just gonna be in a bad spot. But yeah, he sends rainbows here, and I sell my BIA because I'm thinking this is all out. So I actually just spam rotors. And yeah, I ended up defending here. It was really sloppy. I ended up defending, but yeah, I thought that was his all out. Like, I actually thought it was all out. So I actually sold my BIA. I sold like almost everything. And I just went for a lot of rotors. But yeah, I ended up going for my bank again. I'm slowly like getting some eco from the bank and BIA. Like, before I had like 300, now I have 440. So yeah, I think like, yeah, I go for my BI again. And he sends his BFB again. Like, every time I go for my BI, he just goes for he just sends a BFB because the thing is, like, if I keep the BIA up, he's probably gonna lose for sure because eventually I'm gonna start getting factories. I'm gonna get a lot of money from the eco, and it's just not gonna be it's just gonna be too much for him. Like, I'm gonna have way too much money. So he actually ends up sending this. I actually sell and go for Apache because I was scared that it was gonna overwhelm because the AI was kind of scary as well. So I just go for this. Not sure if I needed it, but the thing is I had no boost, so I was scared that there was gonna be too many ceramics and I was gonna choke. So that's why I went for the Apache here. And I actually sell the trap and go for the BIA. I didn't want to sell the trap because now I'm like missing out on money from the AI. If I had a trap here, I would get it like probably get like $1,000, like more than that. I would get a decent amount of money from the trap. So I was kind of like, I didn't want to sell it, but I didn't want to miss out from the extra eco from the BIA. So yeah, at this point, I wasn't really too sure how this was gonna work. I wasn't sure what his eco was as well. Like, he was ecoing, like, the majority of this game he was ecoing, but he also sent BFBs, so I wasn't sure how good his eco was. But yeah, I keep up the Apache because I'm gonna need it for round like 27, round like 30, and all those rounds. I'm gonna need it, so there's no point in selling it. I'd say like at this point, there's no point in selling it. But yeah, Lokesh, he's defending the BFBs here. But what happens is that it actually just gets past, and then he just dies. I think like, I don't know. I think like he just choked. I think like he would have lost late game. I think because I felt like I don't know. Like I feel like he didn't have enough money. But it's really unfortunate matchup. Like it's a really bad matchup for sure. It wasn't like the best games ever. Like you guys are watching this, you should think like I'm beating Lokesh, but these are just lucky games, bro. Like this is the first game, like the one I played. I feel like I actually got him there. He choked, but I feel like Lokesh was trying out a new strategy, and then this game, yeah, it was a really unlucky matchup. So it is what it is. It isn't super serious games, but you guys should check out Lokesh's channel if you already haven't. He's uploading like really good videos lately. Like I've seen his videos, like it's really good. So I would check out his channel for sure. Can't really upload. I can't really like play some live games right now because I'm pooled. I'm hacker pooled. So I'm just gonna end it here, and then eventually when I get unhacker pooled, I'm probably gonna upload some arena games. But yeah, check out Lokesh's channel. He's a really good player, really good guy, and he's uploading really consistently. So you should check out his channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this one, I'll see you guys next one. Peace.